Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving deep into DeepSeek's groundbreaking work on DeepSeek-R1, a reasoning model that rivals OpenAI's R1, but with a twist. It largely eschews labeled data. Exciting, right?
Absolutely. The TLDR is impressive. OpenAI-level reasoning using pure reinforcement learning, no labeled data. But how did they pull that off? It sounds almost too good to be true.
That's the million-dollar question. They started with DeepSeek-R1, a model trained purely with reinforcement learning using the GRPO framework. This is key. It bypasses the need for a critic model, relying instead on automated scoring based on coherence, completeness, and fluency.
So, no human labeling? Just rules-based scoring? But how do they know those rules are sufficient? Isn't that a huge assumption?
You're right to be skeptical. It's a bold move. The rules aren't perfect. They're a best guess at what constitutes a good response. But the beauty is, it works. DeepSeek-R1 achieved impressive results, even matching OpenAI O1 on certain benchmarks. Amazing!
Incredible! But the article mentions challenges with R1, like poor readability and language mixing. How did they address those issues?
That's where the multi-stage training of DeepSeek-R1 comes in. They started with a base model, fine-tuned it with a small amount of cold start data, then applied pure RL, similar to R1. But then, the clever part, they used rejection sampling to create synthetic labeled data from the best RL outputs.
Synthetic data from the model itself? That's a fascinating approach. It's like the model is bootstrapping its own improvement.
Exactly. Then they combined this synthetic data with supervised data from the base model, fine-tuned again, and finished with another RL stage. It's a layered approach, each step building upon the previous one. Ingenious!
So it's not purely RL, but a hybrid approach. Does that diminish the initial claim of pure RL?
That's a valid point. While R1 was purely RL, R1 incorporates supervised fine-tuning. However, the core innovation remains the effective use of GRPO and the clever bootstrapping with synthetic data. The overall approach is still significantly different from traditional RLHF methods.
The article also highlights the cost-effectiveness of DeepSeek-R1's API compared to OpenAI's O1. That's a significant advantage for developers.
Absolutely. It's significantly cheaper, making advanced reasoning models accessible to a wider audience. And the API, while lacking some features of OpenAI's, provides access to both the reasoning process and the final answer, which is incredibly valuable for understanding the model's thought process.
The discussion of model distillation is also interesting. Taking reasoning patterns from a larger model and applying them to a smaller one is a smart way to improve efficiency.
Precisely. It shows that the reasoning capabilities aren't solely dependent on sheer model size. DeepSeek's results with distilled models are quite impressive, outperforming other state-of-the-art open-source models.
So what's the overall takeaway? What does this mean for the future of LLM development?
This research shows that we can achieve remarkable results in LLM reasoning without relying heavily on massive labeled datasets. It opens up new avenues for research and development, potentially accelerating progress in the field. The race is on. Exciting times. Less than / person 1 greater than. Less than person 1 greater than. And that's all the time we have for today's Tech Bytes and News. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.